The following video contains footage from the Endwalker Media Tour. As such, this footage is not representative of the final product, and you will find significant differences both visually and elsewhere. I do remind you, please do not take this as the final version, but at the same time, thank you to Square Enix for providing me with this opportunity, and I hope you enjoy this. Okay then, Red Mage, something close to my heart. I love Red Mage in the live servers. So on a job action trailer, as you can see here, we actually got to see a few new abilities, mainly upgrades for what it's worth, as well as the wonderful Resolution spell, which is a new spell that we get at level 90. We'll talk about that more. We also have Magic Barrier as well, which you saw on this trailer just a second ago. There you go, there's some more stuff. And we also have a job gauge change as well, which we need to go into. But for the most part, whilst I played Red Mage very briefly during the media tour with what time I had, it felt just as good as ever, and honestly, I really, really love some of the new spells. So without further ado, let's look at their spellbook and talk about all their tooltips. Alrighty then, so when it comes to the Red Mage tooltips, remember that all potencies I read out here are in fact, not final, and any information actually from these tooltips shouldn't be taken as representative of the final version of Endwalker. So, we have to say that every time. It's getting exhausting saying it every time, but I have to say it. So let's hop into the potency and other changes then. So firstly, let's look at Riposte. The only change here is that the action is upgraded to Enchanted Riposte when the black and white mana are 20 or more. It used to be 30 as a requirement for black and white mana, but now 20 is all you need, so you can get access to that Enchanted Riposte earlier in your rotation. Jolt has its potency lowered from 180 to 170, and it has that 2.41 second recast timer from the usual 2.29, which gets applied to pretty much most of the spells. If I don't read that out, for the most part, you can expect it to be that's the norm now. It also increases the black and white mana you gain by 2, which is down from the 3 that it used to generate. The Thunder's attack hits with a potency of 360 now, down from 370, also generating 6 black mana, where it used to make 11. The rest pretty much remains the same on that tooltip. Core is now on a 35-second charge time with a maximum of 2 charges. It also hits for a potency of 100, down from 130. So now you can stock this ability to gap close as you see fit, and I quite like that change personally. The Arrow has a potency reduction of 360, down from 370 on live, generating 6 white mana, down from 11 previously. So that's where the Arrow stands. The Thunder 2 now has a potency of 140, up from 120. The Arrow 2 has a potency of 140, also up from 120 previously. The Fire now has a potency of 330, which is up from 310, generating 9 black mana. And the Stone now has a potency of 330, generating 9 white mana. Another buff there. Next up to the melee stuff then, Zwerchow, I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that even normally, is mostly the same, only now it upgrades to Enchanted Zwerchow if both your black and white mana are at level at 15 or more. It used to be 25, so across the board it seems they're making it a lot faster to get through these spells using these combos, so things appear sooner than they did previously. Displacement then, whilst the same as it was, is now a charge ability. Instead of a recast of 35 seconds, it has a charge time of 35 seconds and has a maximum of 2 charges. This, like Core, means much more freedom of movement, and you'll see here with engagement as well. Previously at level 72, this is now actually unlocked at level 40. It also is a charge ability now with a charge time of 35 seconds and a maximum of 2 charges, much like Displacement, sharing its usual recast timer with Displacement as well, so you can't use both, which is pretty good. Flesh then now has a potency of 420, down from 440. Redoublement hasn't really changed, other than it becomes Enchanted Redoublement if your black and white mana are at 15 or more, rather than 25 or more previously. Acceleration got changed to a charge ability and not a recasted ability. The charge time for this is 55 seconds, and you have 2 charges of acceleration. The rest does the same. This allows you to use acceleration where you want and to have one stocked after your first usage. Contra 6 now has a potency of 380, down from 400. Magnification is now different. It now increases both black mana and white mana by a fixed 50. No longer does it state in the tooltip by half. It also recovers 1 charge of Core, displacement, and engagement upon pressing it. It also now grants 6 stacks of Magnification, which Magnification increases your magic damage dealt by 5%, which now lasts for 15 seconds, which used to only last 10. Jolt 2 then is up to a 310 potency from the original 290, generating 2 black and white mana instead of the previous 3 on live servers. Impact has seen a drop to 210 potency from 220, but pretty much does the same as it always did. And now we're on to the new spells. So the wonderfully beautiful, in my opinion, The Thunder 3 is obtainable at level 82 and deals lightning damage with a potency of 380. This also grants 6 black mana and gives 50% chance of becoming Verfire ready. This lasts for 30 seconds. Also, the Aero 3, which deals wind damage with a potency of 380, also generating the 6 white mana and has a 50% chance to become Verstone ready. That's also available at level 82, so both for black and white mana generation. Another new one then is Magic Barrier. This is a brand new ability. It's an instant cast ability with a 120 second cooldown. It reduces magic damage taken by yourself and nearby party members by 10%, whilst also increasing HP recovered by healing actions by 5% for 10 seconds. This is a very powerful support ability then. Another shield available at level 86. With all the shields that are being put into various jobs, it's going to be really interesting to see a raid boss. I can't wait for that. Right, back to the enchanted stuff then for a second. Enchanted Riposte now casts 20 black and white mana from 30 costs. Enchanted Zwerchao requires 15 black and white mana from 25. Enchanted Redoublement now requires 15 black and white mana, down from 25. Now we're on to the Flare. That's changed, actually. Now it deals fire damage to targets and then all nearby enemies to it, with a potency of 580 for the first enemy, then 60% less for the remaining enemies on screen. This of course used to be single target only, but now has a built-in AoE. It also increases black mana by 11 and does the usual things it did before. However, now it says on the chance to become Verfire ready, which was the usual 100% effect, now has a mana stack cost of 3. And as you probably guessed it, the Holy follows suit, basically doing an AoE damage for 580 for the first enemy, 60% less for the other enemies, increasing white mana by 11, and has those 3 mana stack costs as well. So it's basically a mirror of the previous ability. Enchanted Reprise means pretty much it stays the same, aside from a potency increase to 330, up 30 from the 300 it previously was. Scorch is now also an AoE. It used to be just single target. This deals unaspected damage to a target and all enemies nearby. This has a potency of 680 for that first enemy and then 60% less for the remaining enemies. This also generates 4 black and 4 white mana, down from 7 previously. So everything is sort of being brought in line and makes it a lot quicker to get to. Right, so for the final new ability then, a level 90, this is the finisher after you press Scorch. So you do your rotation, do your melee combo, hit Scorch, and then Resolution can be used. Resolution then deals unaspected damage to all enemies in a straight line before you, with a potency of 750 for the first enemy, and then 60% less for any remaining enemies in that line. Obviously, combos from Scorch then, as we said, and it also generates 4 black and 4 white mana as well. I personally think this ability it just feels awesome. It feels great in practice. It also looks amazing with that big stream of circles and then a big spear going through the enemy from your sword there. Looks amazing. So just a quick look at the job gauge then, because people wondered what the diamonds were. The 3 diamonds then on this are your mana stacks. You actually gain them by executing the enchanted attacks. When they reach maximum stacks, you can cast the Flare and the Holy, and that's pretty much the only change there. So that's how Red Mage has changed to use those diamonds now. So trait changes. Dual cast is basically the same as it was pretty much before in Shadowbringers, only now they let you know that the dual cast buff on your next instant ability lasts for 15 seconds before running out, which apparently the old tooltip didn't tell you when I looked that up. Enhanced Jolt now upgrades Jolt to Jolt 2 like usual, only now it increases the potency of the Thunder and the Arrow to 360 down from 370 previously. This also has the potency effect of the Fire and the Stone to 300, which is also down from 310. So a brand new trait then at level 68 called Mana Stack. This then reads, it adds a mana stack to your balance gauge upon landing Enchanted Riposte, Zerchow, Redoublement, or Molineer, up to a maximum of 3. Upon getting 3 mana stacks, the Thunder and the Thunder 2 are upgraded to the Flare, and their Arrow and their Arrow 2 upgraded to the Holy. Enhanced Displacement now increases displacement and engagement potencies to 150. Unfortunately, that's down from 200, but actually affects both, whereas it only used to affect just displacement, and now obviously with engagement as well included in that. Red Magic Mastery is new. This is available at level 74 and reduces Contra 6 recast timer to 35 seconds, also increasing the potency of both the Thunder 2 and the Arrow 2 to 120. Enhanced Magnification is available at level 78 now. That's actually moved up from level 74, but it does exactly the same as it used to do. Red Magic Mastery 2 then, available at level 82, upgrades the Thunder to the Thunder 3 and the Arrow to the Arrow 3. Upon gaining 3 mana stacks, the Thunder 3 is upgraded to the Flare and the Arrow 3 is upgraded to the Holy. Red Magic Mastery 3 then is at level 84 and increases the potency of the Thunder 2 to 140, the Arrow 2 to 140, the Fire to 330, the Stone to 330, Jolt 2 to 310, Impact to 210, and Enchanted Riposte to 330. The Enhanced Acceleration perk is available at level 88 then, and allows for the accumulation of charges for consecutive uses of acceleration, up to a maximum of 2 charges. And finally, the last trait, Enhanced Magnification 2, at level 90, simply increasing the maximum stacks of Magnification to a total of 6. And there we go. All in all, Red Mage having access to its harder hitting abilities sooner in its combos might bring it closer in damage actually to the other spellcasters. We have the ranged casters. I see this as a fairly big buff, and I'm excited personally to see what it's like alongside the other casters in the final game when we get to actually play some content. Remember then that potencies are not final, and neither are any of these tooltips, so please don't dwell on these numbers too much. But yeah, thank you kindly for watching. Let me know your thoughts below about Red Mage and Endwalker, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.